Emperor Vallis Trias III gazed over his throne room, thoroughly bored at having to guide the peoples of the Trias Empire. The Empire has stood for over 1,000 solar cycles and encompassed nearly 2 galaxies. The reign of the Empire incorporated many species. Willing or unwilling, they had little choice. Join or die was their incentive. The Emperor's species were designed to rule. Everyone knew that. Tall, majestic, reptilian, even the commoners were above the lesser races. The Emperor idly cast his gaze over his beloved elite honor guard. The best of the best in the latest armor, polished to perfection and festooned with the weapons that conquered civilizations. Yes, they were taller than the Emperor, but it was well known that having a higher intelligence depleted the body slightly, so his physicians had stated. Oh well, the needs of the Empire weigh heavily, he thought to himself, as he reached to partake of another delicacy from an etched glass bowl held by a Solinar slave. So, Administrator, what do we have on our exhausting agenda today? He yawned. If it pleases your highness, our scouts have intercepted a new species and, as per your orders, obtained a specimen, stated the administrator. Sitting up straighter, the Emperor bared his teeth in a sign of pleasure, as he would get to play his game. Bring it in, he demanded. 2 elite guards dragged in a sorry excuse for a sentient species, before chaining it to a prepared place on the floor in front of the throne. There were not even any claws in his hands, just little pink tentacle-type appendages. Dexterous, but disgusting. The animal just glared at the Emperor, who whistled his excitement through bared teeth. An animal that did not know his place. This will be fun, the Emperor chortled. Can it speak? The animal has been brain-mapped and imprinted with the Empire standard, Your Highness. However, since it was advised of its fate and the fate of its race, it has refused to utter a word, the Administrator summarized from the viewing screen held in his hands. We believe they call themselves human. This one was a scout, and as yet we have not located its homeworld. Standing up and moving forward, the Emperor stopped in front of the chained human. He was amused that he was a head taller than the human. It will make no difference in regards to your race's subjugation, human, whether or not you talk. However, if your training goes well, you can make it easier on yourself before you serve the Empire. And you will serve the Empire, animal. The Emperor waved magnanimous towards the palace staff, who whistled in support of the Emperor's wit. The human made no sound. Animal, we are going to play a game. A game I invented myself, the Emperor tittered, clapping his hands. An elite guard approached, and after bowing to the Emperor, handed him a blue cylinder that slightly bulged in the middle with a red button on top. The device sat neatly in the Emperor's hand. This, animal, is a biomass molecular disrupted device. You can press the button on top, and every living thing within a quarter planetary diameter of the blast center dies, leaving all the buildings intact. Only my elite guard carry them, and on my order willingly sacrifice themselves to take the cities of those that dare fight against the natural order of the Empire. This one is of course inert, hence its blue color. As a training device, however, it serves our purpose, the Emperor pontificated. The human just stared. I am going to place it in your hand, animal. If you press the button, you'll be tortured. If you do not press the button, you will live and be trained to serve the Empire. The Emperor looked at his entourage for their expected amused whistling, and they proceeded to acknowledge his genius. Placing the device in the human's hand, he began, What do you... Click. Partially shocked at how quickly the human had pressed the button, the Emperor was more taken aback by being interrupted. Take it away, screamed the Emperor. Bring it back tomorrow when it has learned respect, and leave the device in his hand so it remembers. 2 elite guards stepped forward, unchained the human, and dragged it away. The next day, the blooded and bruised human was returned to its place in front of the throne. When all was prepared, the Emperor spoke. Well, Annette, click. Take it away! I will have obedience! He raged. The Emperor was beside himself. No being had ever lasted 2 nights with his torturers before they stopped pressing the button. However, every day was the same. As soon as the Emperor began to speak, click. Day, click. After day, click. After day, click. This was too much, ranted the Emperor to himself. His game was not fun anymore. The human, who appeared unable to walk, had been carried by his elite guard, and once again shackled to the floor. It was just a blooded husk of what it once was, still clutching the now blood-covered device. The Emperor waited for the click. Nothing. He began to speak, still no click. Well, human, it appears you have finally learned your lesson, the Emperor gloated. With laboured breathing, the human replied as it slowly stood. Nope. Had to wait, it said. Took longer than I hoped to train your guards to let me get close. It laughed as it coughed up blood. The Emperor looked at the elite guard who had carried the human in. Although covered in some of the human's red blood, everything appeared in order. Except the biomass device in the guard's bandolier was now blue. On long scout runs, I practice my magician skills. We call this sleight of hand. Abracadabra, bitch, it said. Spinning back, the Emperor saw in horror that the human had opened his hand to reveal a black biomass device. Click.